Practice Podcast, where we cover the only sport in the world where there is no practice. With your mini rod driving host, Adam Kester, Tyler Slaw, and Chase Richardson. Strap in for some debates on the world of pulling, exclusive special guests, and a whole lot of nonsense BS. The No Practice Podcast starts now.
All right.
Hello, pulloff fans across the world, baby. How about that intro? Special shout out to our official city slicker director. We will not reveal his name now, but you'll learn as we go on this journey of the No Practice Podcast. You'll learn more about him behind the scenes. Thanks for tuning in. Big night. First ever episode of the No Practice Podcast. For those of you that don't know or aren't aware, we represent the sport. We're the only sport in the world. And if you don't know, please email us, Facebook message us, or send a comment that does not practice. The No Practice Podcast. All right, we're the only humans in the world that compete with no practice. So proud to be joined with fellow competitors, good friends, and guys that I really do not necessarily agree with all the time, but consider them both good friends, and I'm sure we'll all be very entertained by some of the back and forth dialogue here tonight and through the rest of this offseason into next summer. It's my great pleasure to recognize first and foremost Mr. Adam Reverse Takeoff Kester. And for those of you guys that don't know what reverse takeoff means in our class, this is something that every driver it's kind of an underground story, so to speak, where, mini rod class where we compete in, when you get back to the sled and you're going through the process of getting the chain in, every other class, they put it in gear, put it in gear and drive forward. Well, sometimes guys forget to put it in forward and they take off in reverse. So we'll get more back to that story later. But my formal recognition announcement to my great friend, Adam Reverse Takeoff Kester.
How's it going, everybody? Adam Kester here. I can't say how excited I am for about what we're about to do with this. Chase kind of contacted me, 6 months ago and kind of asked, hey, man, do you think we'd be interested in doing a podcast where we get some guys together and kind of talk about the sport? And obviously, all my friends know that I'm pretty easy to throw a message out there on Facebook about how I feel about how things are going from time to time. Usually,
you needed another avenue. Yeah,
we need another avenue where people can actually understand what I'm saying in the context that I'm saying it. So, in no means is this an avenue to bash or do anything like that for the sport of pulling, but more or less to bring awareness to what goes on behind the scenes, what the drivers are thinking. I get to talk to a lot of guys every day about the sport because I build engines for a lot of customers. And I even get calls from people that aren't my customers that we talk about things. And it's been one of those things for the last couple of years. I usually kept pretty quiet until my dad passed away. And then after that, it's like something triggered me that, there are things to be said. Kind of no filter, sometimes toxic out of my mouth, but it's how I feel about the sport, and I really do care about it. So, that's kind of some of my background. I've been doing it for a while. All three of us have kind of been pulling in the same class for a while, and I want to turn it over to a guy that is
quick though, Adam. Real quick. Full disclosure. Now that you made your national appearance on the show,
there we go.
And there's no turning back. Your family actually reached out after your last Facebook post, wanting you to get on camera live. So this is for all you Kester family out there. Adam's here and he's off Facebook.
There we go. Yeah, the backing up in reverse. You can say what you want. That's one instance that I've been caught on camera doing it. I have done it before.
More to come on this. This is the underground
world of pulling. Well, speaking of that, actually, when you're backed up to the sled and you're trying to focus on where you want to point the tractor at the end of the track and kind of get your bearings of where you want to go, and my wife does a great job of backing me into the sled.
She does.
Are you the best looking backup girl in the sport, hands down? But she does a great job backing me up the sled, and I was trying to get that line down the track, and when you're getting close to the sideline over there, you're trying to make sure you get everything right. Well, every now and then you miss a few things there, but now anytime
we're 7 minutes into the show and you're already trying to cover up for what we have video evidence of. So with that being said, I think we need to move it forward.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I let you know that every single time that I back up to the sled now, I think about that, and I think I cannot do this. These guys are going to ride my ass if I do this.
I've never done it, and I hope so badly I never do now, just because of that.
And any mini rod guy that says they haven't came close to do it is a lying, you know what? So
that's right.
More to come on the reverse takeoff Kester, but I think we need to introduce our next host.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was trying to do before Chase got me. So I want to introduce one of my fellow classmates that is probably the most interesting man in the mini rod class, and that is Mr. Tyler Slaw.
I don't know about most interesting, maybe the one with the worst priorities, but we love the class. We love the sport. I feel like everybody's got a good personality in pulling, and I think this is going to be a pretty fun avenue to demonstrate that and let everybody, see what goes on after the pull more so. Just guys sitting around talking about the sport, what's going on in the sport, talking about sometimes things that don't have anything to do with the sport. We're going to have fun with it. I'm looking forward to it. Our third man. Oh, yeah, we got to watch me do something stupid now in all fairness here. Yep, probably should have let out of it.
I think everybody tuned in's already seen this.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 times. Not my best moment, that was this year, but not the first time we had it wrecked, and it's not going to be the last time. And that's what makes the mini rod class one of the best classes, hands down. No A to B passes. We mess stuff up. Our next third man in the room here, third man in the ring, Mr. Chase Richardson, formal guy, former Gamecocks coach, turned to occasional coxman, and the circus leader of the Uncle Dave's pulling team. Mr.
That
Chase
he
Richardson.
is.
Circus. I'll agree that it is a circus, but leader.
We love that circus. We love it.
It's a lot like our country. There's a lot of struggle at the top, and I'm not that guy. Luckily, my dad's the one in charge. But yeah, excited to do this. Fans, we have a ton of people tuning in already. We do have a segment, and Tyler's going to go through our segments here shortly. But we will take questions each show. This is not scripted. This is not I think everyone that knows us knows we're pretty normal guys. So there's nothing that's not open for discussion. We will try to keep it family oriented, but there's a lot of cuss words and occasional adult beverages consumed in the pulling pit. So we'll try to keep it as clean as we can, but please send over your questions later in the show. We'll get to that. So Adam talked about it too. There's so much that people don't know about the competitors and the people of the sport. And, we all love this and we're passionate about it. And all we're doing here is just trying to spread the word to people that may not be interested in it. And, there's a lot of great people out there doing stuff for the sport now, but we hope to add a little different flavor to this. And Tyler, you can kind of, if you want to go through a little bit how our shows are going to look. This is episode 1, so if we get through without any, get through without any Wi-Fi trouble, it's a success. But we do have a lot of fun, entertaining stuff. I think maybe we can dive into it and give people a preview before we get. And by the way, I'm sure people are looking at the internet and seeing that NTPA rules officially were posted for 2024 about an hour and a half to 2 hours before the show.
There. You talk about perfect
went on air. So I'm sure we'll get to that. But let's give the people what they want. Just kind of give them some of the fun stuff we have in store.
Right, we're going to get the rundown.
In the No Practice podcast.
The rundown, we've got a set of structured segments here. First one being going to the scales segment. That's going to be a segment every show discussing and debating topics in the world of pulling. Number 2, we're going to get into a little pop culture, which I know you're thinking that might not be our thing, but everybody knows what's going on there. But the best part about the pop culture segment is we're going to have a correspondent that has started showing up in the world of pulling, and he's a character. So you're going to look forward to that for that alone. The third one is the pull-off segment. Weekly guests from the pulling, motorsports, and mainstream world. That's going to start episode 2. We don't want to get this to get too long and Rogan-like where you got to dedicate 4 hours of your life. So first episode, we're hitting the structure. We're not going to have a guest on, but we will be having guests on. Local establishment spotlight. That's right. We've all got our favorite little local bars around certain tractor pulls that we like going to, having a beer at, getting lunch at. We're going to be talking about those places, and we're going to be occasionally calling them up as well and talking to them.
Totally live.
It's going to be hit or miss.
And not non-commercial, non-chain. This is all
of course.
pure American.
Who goes to a poll? I'm going to drive 12
hang-
hours and go to a McDonald's. No,
They may
I don't
hang
think
up
so.
on us. We don't know.
Yeah, we're here to spread the word of how great the people in the towns, the communities tied in the sport. So there will be no Buffalo Wild Wings shout outs just for you fans. And as we move along with that segment, because we think it's going to be a pretty popular one, we're going to take in suggestions on
Places
local establishment spotlights for future
you got
shows.
a local place by a pool, local watering hole.
We have a place locked down for tonight, right?
What's that?
We have a place locked down for tonight,
yeah,
Kyle.
for sure.
There's a place locked down for tonight, right?
We're going to call it
the debut. What better time?
Yeah.
If you're tuned in right now, do not turn off, or at least come back about 20 minutes. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Then after that, we got our protest segment. When a competitor wants to know something or confirm something is legal in pulling, they can protest. So we're going to take questions from fans via email, chat, try to get at least 3 to 4 questions, at random from some fans, and put a little bit different insight on it, something a little straightforward from the pullers themselves. And after that, we're going to load it in the trailer. We'll get a sign off from everybody and what we're going to be up to in the next week and go from there.
Tyler, what's the latest you've ever loaded a vehicle in the trailer?
Man.
Post pull, what is the latest time you've ever loaded a vehicle in the trailer?
I'm going to say easily probably 1 or 2 in the morning.
I'm pretty sure you loaded one in my trailer one time at about 4 a.m.
Oh, for sure.
I wasn't present to do that.
The sun was starting to come up. You could start to hear the birds chirping, and we're like, we don't even need to turn on trailer lights because we got the sun to load this thing up.
All right.
Can't wait to get some of the behind-the-scenes stories with our future guests about lack of straps on vehicles and things moving around the trailer on the way home. Normally when you go to the pull, you're leaving home and you've been working in a. There are stories out there, pulling fans, where people probably don't get enough rest, probably engage in stuff they shouldn't do, and they go home and stuff moves around to places it wasn't. So
what
can't wait for that part.
What was your excuse when the two-wheel drive ended up on Highway 41 and
oh man, that's going to be
Henderson,
like a 20-minute
Kentucky
story.
Oh yeah, let's say that
was
one for
coming
another
from
day.
home, wasn't it?
That was not, and nothing's ever done on purpose. And I've done equally or worse myself. So we'll save that for future shows. So what's next, fellas? Adam, you're leaning across the scales. Give the fans a little bit why this is across the scales and the drama about the scales, because we all weigh 2,050 pounds, right?
Well, we all know when you go to the scales that everybody and their brother is going to be standing to make sure everybody gets across legally. But the
and what
going
that
across
number
the
is going
scales. Oh well, it just depends on who gets there first, I guess. Sometimes
isn't it funny at some competitors when they go across the scales, they have an audience of like 30 people watching them.
It's kind of interesting how that works.
Yeah.
No names mentioned.
Yeah,
No.
since I got all the shit hanging on mine, there's usually a lot of people up there looking at mine. So, so we going across the scales. We'll see how everybody chimes in their 2 cents about how they ran last week. And I'm wearing the same stuff I had last week. Okay, that's fine. Then why is your trap to 30 pounds different?
Everybody
Whatever.
will put weight on. They'll never take it off.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, Adam's never complained about weight pulling fans.
Never have. I've always been a large advocate for hell. We'll just see strip all the weight off of them and run them that way, and then we'll be even.
That's more fun that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gives you good videos for the intros.
There's a couple. Yeah. Well, this will turn into the no practice to the extinct class podcast.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to get into that?
So, yeah, let's take it. This is going to be the barn burner part of our show. So, Adam, we're all going to bring a couple topics to the table. I could probably guess what Tyler's going to talk about, but Adam, I think you need to leave with something to get us going. And again, fans, please chime in, send us your questions. This is about us having a good time, and everyone, it's open floor, open mic. So, Adam, it's all you, brother.
Well, I think nothing better to start with than what we're doing with this ourselves is probably like the streaming improvements, shortfalls of tractor pulling. I mean, this is not, like I said, this is not a stab at anything that's going on. We all know that in order to get views of what we're doing, we have to have good viewership on some sort of platform. And I think that's a big struggle. What we're dealing with right now is, Schultz is doing a good job with Beer Money. NTPA's got their live stream. PPL's got their live stream. Every now and then you get some guys jumping on there.
Shout out to Beer Money pulling. Shout out to Beer Money pulling an Outlaw stream too.
Yeah, and Outlaws. These guys are doing a good job. We just have to get from a visual standpoint. I think we need to get a little bit better. Put a little bit of better product out there. A little bit, more of a show.
What's better look like?
I think, not only does the quality of the stream with, leaderboards and replays and stuff like that, what we have now, but off the actual live stream itself, it also goes into the appearance of the pulling track. We got to make that aesthetically look good. I don't think anybody wants to look back and see a 1946 John Deere pulling a rusty old thing sitting behind, but just trying to get a little bit better viewership, give the fans something a little bit better to look at, a little bit more maybe content in between pulls, stuff like that. What do you guys think?
I think the live streams could use an announcer in the background that's like dedicated for live stream, because usually what you're getting is the audio of the pull, which is all right. It kind of keeps you informed, but I often find myself just muting it because they're talking to the people there, understandably so. And usually, on the live stream, you're getting the replays that you see on the video boards, or you're getting, a shot of the crowd. And of course, the announcer there isn't going to, just speak to that. He's more so speaking to the people there. I think having like an announcer in the background specifically for the live stream would be quite beneficial.
What do you think, Chase?
You got to give credit where credit is due, and NTPA they were one of the first. I remember reading a PRI article years ago, probably well over a decade, where they were one of the first motorsports to stream their pulls before streaming was what it is in motorsports. But now, obviously, and especially with COVID, the pandemic, everything is. We live in a world where everything is viewed and evaluated by the amount of clicks and eyeballs it has, from a viewership standpoint. I think the days of people in the seats and counting attendance, yeah, it's all great, but I don't know if that's really what it once was, especially since 2020. So I don't know. Everything needs to evolve and change. I think we're fortunate to have streaming available. We're all spoiled and we all complain about it when we don't have it. So, but everything is so easily, us as competitors,
everything is so easily accessed on the phone now. So you're going to get a lot of people that are looking on their phones all the time. So the attendance is going to be down. I think we need to figure out how to draw them into the events a little bit better. But we also, for the people that can't make it or just too far away, we have to figure out how to get them better viewership of our sport.
But one of the real encouraging things about everything. Sorry, Adam. One of the big guys that pull and run like the Grand National Circuit, and the few PPL events I went to, and the Outlaw event I went to this year, I could say the same. But like crowds are better than they've ever been in terms of attendance. And I think that's so untapped potentially. But in a world where things aren't always trending the right way, our asses in the seat, excuse my language, is not a bad thing. So like us as competitors, like us as, you as an engine builder, like me and Tyler's, guys at mini rod pull, you always got to adapt. You always got to change. So yeah,
That's
I mean,
right.
I'm with you on that.
Well, I think
Anywhere where anything stays the same is never a good thing. I don't think necessarily, but we are fortunate to have what we have.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's easy to complain what we've got and say it could be better, but I mean, what we've got is good enough. I'm tuning in for sure if I can't make an event.
Well, I mean, even at that, I think Full Pull's doing a great job of releasing new content. I really like what they're doing with that, and I like the upbeat, more visual side of what they're bringing to it. I can tell that we're gonna have this thing for a while here, so we better move on to. I know what Tyler's just burning to get to. Tyler, why don't you just break us in on this old mini rod rule changes?
Impeccable timing, like
Dude,
the stars are aligned for a debut. I'm not for you, so to speak. So have at it, bro.
I saw it proposed. I didn't think it would get passed, and I feel like hours before this started, the rule got passed. Drivers' feet must be placed inside the main frame rails while competing under green flag in mini division at all levels.
You know why they created this rule, Tyler? Do you know why?
Do I get to put my name behind that?
Well, not quite. I'm only going to give you half credit. I mean, Larry Kester, he passed away a couple years ago. He didn't have his feet inside the frame rails, so I guess they have open game to make this go now.
So I get to share it with him.
Yeah.
I mean, we all.
For those, so long story short, if nobody's catching what we're putting down, Tyler's and his dad's tractors, along with a couple of your former tractors, are no longer legal for NTPA competition per the rules today.
Throw us a picture up there of the slaw mini rod ride so the fans know exactly what we have.
So the goal behind the whole thing is we're, to people that don't even know, because there may be a few, we're bigger dudes. We can only weigh 2,050 pounds. We don't want the weight class up. The class kicks ass the way it is, and it makes for an awesome show. So to try to get enough weight on our front end, we move our fat asses forward. We move the roll cage forward, the seat forward, the steering wheel, everything, just to try to get more nose weight. And our legs, they can't get so close to the engine, so we just we wrap them right around the motor.
Cut them off, Tyler.
Awesome
just
ride.
cut them off.
Just cut off my legs.
Yeah. And I'm very screwed. I don't think we're giving it enough, or I don't know if we'll be able to give it enough exposure on how significant this is. I've been pulling mini rods over a decade now. I don't ever remember a rule coming in where someone has to build a new tractor if they want to run it.
Well,
so
what about Milt Bergman? What about Milt Bergman that sat on the absolute front end of the tractor when that thing was going up and down? You think that that was a safety concern that maybe should have been?
Well, so that's my question. Is that what this is? Is this a safety concern? Like, you guys play devil's advocate, whether you agree with this rule or not. I want you to be for the rule. Tell me why that rule is a good idea.
You're asking me and Adam, right?
Yes.
All right, brother. I'm gonna keep it real with you because this is a no practice podcast.
You can
okay?
have that. You can tell me it should have been outlawed day one. I don't care.
Well, a part of me, I love you and I don't want you to get hurt, but like at the same time, if you're dumb enough to drive that, not that you and your dad are dumb. I'm just saying, have at it if you want to drive it.
Call me that.
I mean, dumb people know like-minded people. So, but if you had not rolled your tractor over at the Nashville, Illinois poll in the photo that circulated, I'm sure you've seen it, where you were literally, we're going to keep this family oriented, but the size of some obscure objects away from having your leg taken off. And again, that's your problem, not nobody else's problem. I'm just saying that if it was turned the wrong way, if it was, I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent, but if you had not done that, you wouldn't have had this conversation.
Okay, so
we would be having this conversation.
Here's my point though. Like, I can't get my damn leg underneath my tire. Like, a lot of people can. So like, what? My leg was that close to being taken off by what? Like the ground?
If it's just moved if it was like at a different angle or pitch. I wish I had the photo. Actually, I don't want to put the photo because I don't want to pour salt in the wounds. But you asked the question, I'm giving you the answer. Had you not rolled it over?
But is it the ground? That's my question. Like, my leg
and
was
the photo not circulated. But if you not rolled it over, the photo not circulated, nobody would have brought this up. Not saying right, wrong, and different, but
Is that your point?
I'm
It was
not.
going to hit the ground.
I'm not a. I'm not a physics guy. I don't know the angle that it was going to take to decapitate your leg,
What
but I
if
don't
it
know if that's the right
if it
word.
is a safety
Amputate your leg.
thing? Which I'm assuming it is a safety thing because I don't think I've.
Well, it
pissed
has
off
to be
anybody
a
too
safety
bad over
thing
there.
because either somebody complained about it, which
But-
I don't
but
think we're ever going
why-
to have anybody come up in the class and say, "Well, oh yeah, I brought that up. That's a bad idea." You could go around in the class and you can pinpoint
Yeah,
and
I
look
believe
everybody
that.
in the eye and say, "Do you think it's
So-
safe?" And they're, "Oh, it's fine." And
Make
then
a
all of a
rule
sudden,
then that says while I'm strapped in under competition, my feet cannot touch the ground. That's why I'm asking you, Chase. Like, is it the ground that my feet?
Yeah,
are gonna
yeah.
touch?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not. I'm
I-
not trying to resolve the rule. I'm just telling you what happened. In my
No,
opinion.
I'm asking for
But-
criticism because I'm trying
Yeah,
to understand.
yeah,
it,
yeah.
'cause- So it was
Well,
the ground, correct?
I think it was the
don't know.
ground.
So I
Okay,
would say
so-
make a rule that says my feet while strapped in can't touch the ground. That solves it.
Yeah. Well, the problem is,
Right.
Tyler, and me, I love all mini rod pullers, but you and your dad are good pullers. You're experienced people. You're smart drivers. The next guy off the streets that comes in and wants to do that, he's not going to be able to manipulate situations like you and your dad do. So I think it's for the guy who wants to try it after you that they're looking out for.
so but after you said that, Chase,
had there not been an experienced driver, Tyler, I think we'd had a real problem on our hands
I
potentially.
thought it went great. I mean, I was perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah.
So here's my question. Here's my question. Now, you know him as well as I do, that being Tyler and Bruce. They made that rule. It's fair game. What are they going to say?
Oh,
You have to
I'm with
sit-
you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm
Or
with
are they
you.
going to say, Tyler, what if you want to sit on the fucking back of the blower with your feet wrapped around
You
the
don't
injector
think I've
hat?
thought about this stuff?
I know it, but I'm saying you don't even need a throttle. You just grab a hold of the butterflies. I mean,
I'm not-
if they...
I'm-
re-
I'm
Yeah.
not going down that easy. I'm doing something.
I know it. But, I mean, please. I
that
think
rule just cost me hundreds of hours. Legitimately.
hundreds of hours, how much money?
I don't know. I can't afford this. So
Yeah.
Bruce pays for everything. Everybody knows that.
Yeah,
Just a lot
well,
of welders burn from TIG welding for hours and bending tubing and getting into fights with Bruce over how we're supposed to not do something.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I seen, no, these are all proposed things. This one actually went through. I seen some stuff in there about, people are wanting to lower the hitch height on the mini rod class.
Crap.
It didn't happen.
Well, I know.
it's not happening.
I'm just letting people know what people are thinking here in these cases. So the other thing that was probably proposed, maybe a good idea, is maybe there needs to be some safety device on the hitch to keep the minis from coming unhooked. I see maybe there needs to be a safety device maybe between the driver's ears that tell them to get the hell out of the throttle whenever they're on the bad run.
Hey, don't you talk about me like that.
Okay, well, I'll ask you right now then, Tyler. Did you know that was a bad run?
I did. I just
And?
wanted it. I just wanted it.
Does a safety device include putting it forward when you have a green flag?
Yeah, I've never done that.
Sometimes.
No, I don't know.
Hey.
You know how it is when you're on a pass and you're like, damn it, like there's a 5% chance this thing might settle down and just smoke the field. And you're like, I'm taking those odds.
Oh, yeah.
Those are pretty good
It's happened.
odds.
Yeah.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. I agree.
It sucks. I wish it wasn't honestly in the middle of this show as a debut, but I guess also get what you can. But I don't know.
If it wasn't here, I'd have been
enough
pulling an Adam
adult-
Kester and
there's not-
ranting on Facebook. So this will save me from that.
there's not enough adult beverages or enough timeline on this podcast that's going to change it, and I hate
Right.
it. But
I'll leave that
I
alone.
see all
then.
sides
I
of
feel
it.
I already
too.
ranted too long.
But you're gonna hear me say this. The rules makers are like the IRS. Ain't a damn person likes the IRS, but we all got to deal with them. So take it for what it is.
Okay, then let's bring up that while I'm thinking about it. Unless it's
I'm getting ready to dive in on a rule change too that me personally don't like, but anyway, go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry.
Well, the other thing I was just going to ask, I don't know, I was on that committee for a few years, and maybe I didn't do my due diligence like I should have and really paid attention. I really thought that getting the things submitted and talking about them was kind of a a joke at some point in times because they're going to do what they're going to do. The other side of it is I gave that up. So I kind of lost a little bit of my opinion there, but I really think that some of these rules that we're having made or we're talking about here as of late, it seems like they're just making them rules and there is no conversation about it.
How does that process work? How's it supposed to work?
Well, that's what I thought. If it's a safety issue, then I know, okay, you guys can, or the board can make a change if it's safety related. If it's not safety related, is that not supposed to be discussed between the people in the class and voted upon, or am I missing this? I don't know. I thought that was the whole. That was the
way the process is now. You have representatives, and I'm lucky enough and glad I get to represent me-rods. But you hear all the recommendations or complaints, whatever. We go present it to the board, but I don't know if it's. I don't want to. We'll try not to get on U.S. politics in this show because I think 99.9999% of us all align the same way. But I
know a few that aren't.
There's one party. There's one party that doesn't like it when rules are made, and there's another one that just puts their head down and does what they have to do. So, not saying that you're right or wrong, but again, there's no. Whenever you're dealing with rules and the way to do it, like. I don't think sitting around and having a vote with the class to decide what it is. I mean, what I'm getting ready to get into. Actually, Adam, I'm going to go right into that because my across the scales topic, and again, I'm all about the people that make the decisions. It's not easy decisions. Rules makers are like the IRS. Nobody likes them, but there is one because I look at things through the lens of growing the sport. Or I try to first because I'm very passionate about that, as you guys are. And the rule that was put in place, it was on the very end. And City Slicker back office guy, you may want to pull it up. I want to make sure I'm reading it right. But it's something essential is if you're a Grand National competitor after Chapel Hill, like if you're at a large event, I think it's pro stock, two-wheel drive, full drive mini rod. We're going to run all of the competitors in at the same time to avoid, this is my mind way, to avoid disadvantages and advantages. And to me, again, as a competitor, I hear you.
In the two-wheel drive class.
But for someone that's coming into the sport, because everybody that's tuned in now, all three of us, we want to grow this thing. Do you realize how stupid we sound? And if you're a competitor and favor this, I love you. I'm happy to talk with you. But you realize how stupid we sound whenever we got somebody we're bringing in for the first time to show them a pull, and we're trying to explain to them, well, when it gets to this point in the year, we got to put all these guys in line to run at the same time because we don't want any advantage or disadvantages. Man, that looks that's embarrassing, to be quite honest. And I don't know. I know the people who make the rules.
Together, so like, what's
it's just embarrassing. You realize how soft that sounds, like a disadvantage about numbers, dude. It's freaking tractor pulling. Like, I mean, what do you? I mean, I got a bad number. Why don't you do a better job pulling? Like, I don't know. I mean, that just makes me want to throw up. But, and I hope I'm not offending anybody.
I'm going to throw out a comment there that I heard here a couple years ago because I was bitching and moaning that I wasn't running really good. Still haven't been, but the track wasn't good somewhere where we were at. I forget where it was, and Esden Lane was sitting there. And he says, "Adam, there are no bad tracks, just bad setups."
Whoa. Exactly.
From the king.
And again, I just have a real problem with changing rules because, and again, the people who make the rules, when it's safety involved and so forth, I think they just step in and make the rule. But like, this came from the competitors, and you'll never hear me have support for that. And
I think
on a future episode, we got to move along. A future episode, like, to grow this sport to the outer world. We are the only sport in the world. Motorsport, especially motorsport, I'm sorry, in the world that has a point system. It's like deciphering a freaking foreign language. Like, how are we doing ourselves any favors?
Yeah, once again,
let's not get into
dealing
that.
with the IRS filing taxes or something, trying to follow
that. Yeah. So, but that rule is one that we look really soft as a sport, and that's just being blunt, and people don't like blunt, but that's just being blunt in my opinion.
So, like, do we want to dive into that rule specifically, or do we want to leave that alone? Because, like, we could probably tear into that more, but this is going to get long.
Yeah, I think we need to keep the train moving. We're already, and fans are going under an hour. We didn't really know how this is going to go. We're at 36 minutes, so if we go over an hour, we promise we'll get better. And as we get along deeper and deeper, we'll look like we're doing.
Chase can hold his. That's as long as Chase can hold his pee in.
Yeah, I have a bottle under me, Adam.
Oh, I got you.
Is that what you've been drinking?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
so
I would do that myself, but I'm afraid some of my friends are going to come over. I have the door locked to my shop, and you could see right in here where I'm at. And I was afraid maybe we'd have some visitors tonight, so I locked the door.
I like how Adam's like low key. I'd piss in a bottle under a table, but
no, I said I would if I had to.
Yeah. All right.
If I had to.
Yeah. I think it's I think we need to get to the. So we're here to talk pulling. We've talked a little bit about that. You can see the passion. We can feel it. The comments are amazing. I mean, we've had hundreds of comments already, and we only advertised this podcast like 6 or 7 hours before we started. So I think
that's a big secret in the publicity world.
We only started talking about this podcast,
and that's it. You don't want to build.
We only started organizing this podcast last week on a Zoom call for about 35 minutes.
No practice.
Yeah. So don't make too.
So yeah, we're figuring this out. This is kind of like our first time pulling.
About more than pulling. We're here to talk about more than pulling, and take us into our next segment.
All right. Well, we're gonna tear right into pop culture, guys, and the wild world of Taylor Swift and what's going on with Travis Kelce at the Chiefs game there. Right? Did I get that right? Is it Travis Kelce? I don't even know.
Yeah, Tyler's a huge football fan. If anybody didn't know this,
huge.
If I lived in the state of Michigan, I wouldn't be a football fan either.
Oh, screw you! The Lions are doing good this year. It's our year.
Hey,
Super Bowl.
Motor City Dan Campbell is like kneecaps.
I think what we've seen though with Taylor Swift is that there's people like I'm a casual sports fan, and I'm on Facebook and see everything that pops up, but like apparently these Swifties, as they call them, are like skyrocketing the numbers in NFL viewership and all this other stuff. Like, imagine we had a Taylor Swift come to the tractor pull, what that could do for us. What are your thoughts on that?
Chase, you're a handsome young devil and is known to be a little smooth with the ladies. You need to find yourself a nice, hot, single celebrity to start parading around these pulls. Publicity. So
the first disclosure we didn't go into is that not everything you're going to hear in the show is true and accurate, and that goes with some of the things Tyler just said. So, but
embellish a little bit.
You're not always going to get actual information.
There's only one guy on this podcast that is married with a kid, and that is me.
All right, so we're moving on. All right, the best part of the pop culture segment is our consultant, and this man. He's an American badass. When Kid Rock wrote the song American Badass, it was actually about this gentleman right here named Rick McDowell. Terrorists fear him. Bald eagles bring him his lunch every day. That's how amazing this man is. So we're going to call
true veteran American hero. Yeah, he's the official setup man for the full pull trailer. If you haven't met him, you'll meet him soon. But always good for some good modern day advice. So this is his segment to bring him in on the show.
He's gonna rip into this podcast like he pulls into the pulls.
Hey, Rick, how we doing there?
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. We're just on the podcast here, breaking down a little pop culture. You're our correspondent. You've got your hand on the people. You've got your finger on what's going on out there. You like tea. You're big into hoop tea. You're our man. The latest is we broke down the whole Taylor Swift deal going on. You see it all over Facebook so much it's going to make you throw up. So now we're talking about it. Gotta love that, right? Makes great sense. So our thought is, what hot single celebrity could chase?
No.
Gain publicity. No, none of that. All right.
Dylan Mulvaney.
No, none of that.
Well, not her.
All right.
Y'all need to stay as far away from that non-American, non-sports fan, non-everything female that has nothing to do with the United States, has no morals, no ethics, and most importantly, she just sucks.
Guys, this just in. Rick is not a Swiftie. All right.
Ask her why? She's all over the NFL. She's the NFL likes her, Rick.
You know what?
Tell us all about it, Rick.
The NFL loves Taylor Swift.
Kansas City, she actually is dating a Kansas City Chiefs.
Who? What?
player
I did
right
not
now.
know that.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know
Look it
that.
up because they are protesting and they're not showing up to the games because Kansas City has it going on because they don't like that bitch either. Oh, excuse me, that lady either.
Top two reasons you
God,
don't like
this is
her, Rick.
Two reasons. She's non-American and she has no self-respect for
Like-
anybody.
Like, is she a Canadian, Rick? Is that what you mean by non-American?
Well, being a Canuck, that's okay. I got a lot of friends that are Canadians. But that lady right there, I tell you, the Canadians shouldn't just throw around everything.
Okay.
She shouldn't be allowed to sing anywhere but in jail, if you ask Rick
In
McDowell.
jail.
Because you can't concert. Because you can't get a ticket to a concert.
Overseas, and the things she said about our military, the things she said about America.
All right.
Hey, this Dixie Chick 101, how's that?
Only
Go back
45
and listen.
minutes.
This
Go here,
Dixie
bud.
Chick went overseas and did the same thing, belittle America. Okay?
All right,
So-
Rick, I'm going to be completely honest. I was not expecting such a hot, passionate take on such a topic.
I love you.
That's why you're our correspondent, Rick. I'm being told to move it along.
Rick, we'll be
Tractor pull is the world's
We'll be back at-
greatest sport. That's what we need to focus on. Not
All right.
all these celebrity idiots.
You got it, Rick. We'll see you in 2 weeks. All right, buddy?
Hey,
We'll be back 2 weeks,
Hey,
Rick.
City Slicker, why don't you just go ahead and show us that little video there for what we just.
Rick's Rants, Rick's Rants, Rick's Rants, Rick's Rants, Rick's Rants, Rick's Rants.
So that was not even scripted. We did not know
That man is an
that
animal.
he was going to go on such a tear there. That was a lot.
Again, that was
Okay. Well, that's
This
hard
is
to
a no
follow.
contest
That's a big
podcast.
act right there.
I mean, that
Put it on the
uh,
ticker. Taylor Swift is un-American and Rick hates her.
He went on a rant there. All right.
Yeah, he loves pulling. It's the greatest sport in the world, he says.
Yeah, he loves pulling and feeding people deer venison. There's no question about that. All right.
I thought it was duck sausage.
Duck sausage,
Yeah.
deer venison, a golden retriever. He'll do it all. That man knows no boundaries.
All right. That's gonna be. I can't wait to do 2 weeks from now. Imagine what the pop culture is going to be in 2 weeks. What we can. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a pure and authentic conversation again. So
I wasn't aware that anybody passionately hated her.
I didn't either. I mean,
I did like, though, how he was like, did you know she's dating someone from the Chiefs?
Never heard of her.
yeah.
Okay, moving along. All
Well,
right.
well,
Next one's supposed-
this is good. So in the future, just so we're looking at, like, in 2 weeks, we're going to have a guest in, and we're going to have a star-studded list of guests lined up. But since we don't have a guest, and when we get to the guest portion, we're going to call it the pull-off portion, right, Adam?
Yes, sir.
I think it would be justice just for us to open the mic up, and we'll just attack one another with a question or two, because we'll never have this chance again, because it's always going to be about attacking the host. So I think it'll be a good time for Adam. You got the floor. We all got questions to ask one another directly. Everyone's going to take their turn. But Adam, I think you need to hit one of the two of us up with your first question, and then the others will
Easily,
follow.
the question that everybody in the pits wants to know is top alcohol Chase Richardson. Why in the hell do you rev that son of a bitch so loud for minutes on end? We need to know.
You talking about warm up?
Does it get the oil hot? Does it let everybody know? Is it your mating call? You're out there cranking that throttle so everybody knows it's you. What is it?
No, to be honest, it's to make sure nothing's fall off the damn thing. Like I do it to rev it up. I'm being sick, and I could probably say there's one or two times this summer where a throttle linkage is loose, a line is leaking, and that's really the only reason why we do it, just to be completely blunt. And we know
it sounds cool. I look every time. I'll admit.
Oh, it does. Once you get it up about 4,000,
and we know
it finally cleans out.
Yeah.
What is the RPM when you rev it up like that? It's got to be
over 8,000. You taking the over or under?
5,500.
Oh, it's over that.
I'm never in it. I'm never in the seat. CJ's normally in the seat. I don't know. And I don't mean this. We may not beat anybody, but we don't really worry about turning RPMs with our engines with our combination.
I will give you that.
So it's not that big of a deal.
This just in. CJ.
Not saying it.
CJ Grasick says $6,000.
I feel like it's over that. I'm gonna need to see some race pack data.
But it's not for show. It's not for anything else other than to make sure nothing's fall off the thing. Because again, yeah. Well, if we were going to do it for show, we would do something way cooler than that, Tyler.
Well, I mean,
and the show is if you come through our pits, we don't need to rev our engines up to get a show. You just walk through there and you meet guys like Rick and some of the others. That's a fucking show.
For anybody that doesn't know, the UD pit has very many names. I won't bring up some of them just because some of them probably aren't good for anything. But tell us about what it takes for you on a normal weekend to deal with all the shit you're dealing with now with this full pull thing going on. I mean, an hour before the pull, I have to admit I don't even really get to watch the pre-pull show. You're running around like crazy. I mean, I know you're indebted in this, but it's got to be difficult, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything, and I'm not alone at this by any means. That's the biggest misconception with all that full pull stuff. Like there's a handful of people that's making this thing go. I'm just the puller and the guy in the middle of a lot of conversation because I know everyone involved in it and I'm passionate about it. I'm not going to lie. I think it is going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened to the sport when we're looking back on a couple of years. But, it's like anything else. You have enough good people and great smart people around you, it's going to work. We start at ground zero with no data, no nothing, no anything to go off of because there's really no blueprint for anything we're doing. So I was probably a little more involved early on just to help out and troubleshoot. But, I think, at the end early and later, parts of the year, I wasn't really spending much time over there because it was kind of more of a routine. You had people in place to do whatever. So, but I told Adam Bauer, and this is total shit talk, and I can't back this up at all. But
I like it.
I told him, I said, "You're looking at full pull because the first month of the season I sucked, but after that we did a little better."
We're coming for him at the end,
that had nothing to do.
Had to be taxing.
That had nothing to do with it.
It's a good excuse.
No, hell, there's not a, I coached college basketball 10 years at a high level and was very successful with it and had a lot of good stories, but the passion and the love I have for this, and I love competing. You all know how competitive I am. I love revving. I love starting them up and revving the 6,000 in the pit. I mean, I love spending time with friends. I love trying to make something like full pull work. So it's not taxing. Hell, I'm ready to go again, to be honest with you.
There you go. Yeah, we all bitch about how long and drawn out the season is, and the week after the poll's over, we're ready to go again.
Yeah. So good questions though. Yeah.
Go ahead. Somebody shoot. Chase, let's see what you got.
Tyler, my question. All right, my question. I'm gonna go with you first, Adam. Because we're trying to get you off Facebook and keep your content exclusive to this show, but it's no secret you've acquired new mini rods.
Yes, sir.
Or do you plan on running 4 to 5 mini rods next year? Because I'm hearing that rumor. I'm hearing you're trying to field your own class. So again, we're going to get you off Facebook and keep here one day. But in the meantime, tell us what you got going on. And you got 3 for sale. So
That is correct. So this is a sales pitch just as much as it is anything. What is wrong with my program? It's not my chassis. It's not anything like that. Yes, I am putting a new tractor together. There is no secret to that. I haven't released too much on it, but my buddies and friends on Snapchat and guys I know, they all know I'm not going to hide this, but we've struggled, man. We really have. And I think it's just time to, my dad was a big component for always having new stuff and always trying to be on the cutting edge of stuff. Now, this will be the first time that we've ever actually gone along with some people. We are joining that Modern Machine chassis group, but this one here is a little bit different in some ways, I guess. But it's just more or less I got to do something different. I looked at the result sheets here the last couple of years, and I looked down through there, and I go, shit, we got some of the oldest chassis in the class. It's time that we need to start moving, and that was a big decision, just because those three tractors were my dad's legacy. That's what he left. And I felt our equipment at that point in time was the best it's ever been. It matched. Everything's the same. We would throw some different setups on everything, but in the big picture, I'm looking to downsize. I believe. I mean, running three tractors is difficult. Tyler's done it for a year or so.
It's terrible.
I believe
It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we're very efficient at it. Are we getting the results we want? No, but you know what? All three of those tractors made it down the track every single time this year, and we didn't break anything. So that has to be a testament. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to get one down the track all year long, and so I felt good with that. But we're tired of getting my ass kicked, and I want to do something. Now, as far as my Facebook rants, I don't think these people even really know how I truly feel, because that is censored. Maybe this will give me a little bit more of a window to throw the trash out.
A question that I'm probably wanting to know, that's everyone's just on the tip of their tongue. Will the new tractor have reverse?
No, actually, it's not even going to have a transmission. I'm going to...
No chance for backing into the sled? What is the fun in that?
No, we're going to throw it back to the 1980s where somebody had to run out there and push us back. So we're going to...
No, I'm going to protest. You need to have reverse.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll change next year.
A reverse light. You have to have a reverse light, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how are you going to have a reverse light without reverse?
No, I guess the big question was will it carry the same look? And that is being talked about. I mean, I really want to put the sheet metal back on them. It really doesn't weigh that much. So now where the roll cage is located, it may be a little bit difficult to do that. Now it's nowhere near what the slaw camp looks like, but it is up there. So it's definitely be a big change for me, but I'm sure we gotta make her look good. So we'll see what happens with that.
Gotcha.
Yes, there will be a reverse.
Good answer. Good information. Good answer. Good information. I won't bring reverse up again for at least another 5 or 6 minutes. Tyler, my question for you, brother. A big thing in our class now is Mike Coney's pulled the Mac Winter Nationals I think it's going to be in March this year, but qualifying for a big stage like the farm show to do some winter pulling, and that pull's been a lot of fun, big purse and so forth. But if you get top 5 in NTPA and top, you're automatically in. And I want to know, do you think it's fair that 5 tractors ran PPL full circuit and are getting in, and we had like 14 or 15 run, double the amount of hooks in NTPA, and we're not getting more than 5 in? Do you think that's fair?
What about last year with the the NTPA there, bud?
You literally just took the answer out of my mouth. Didn't that happen last year?
I'm talking about this upcoming year. So you think it's fair?
Did you think the previous year was fair?
I'm just kidding.
No, but full on to answer that question.
Bitches, I didn't even finish in the top 5 with any of mine, so I don't even want to hear it.
I didn't mean to sidestep that and put it back to you. Honestly, no, that's probably not fair. I think bare minimum, you should at least have like 6 vehicles that run the whole year for points. And then if you want to take top 5, at least you beat somebody out for a spot. I wouldn't blame them if they took, the top 4 from over at PPL, and then they took 6 over at NTPA. You could probably make a pretty strong case that it was more difficult to get, 6th over at NTPA than it was to get 4th over at PPL, because we didn't have 5 tractors that showed up to every event, which sucks. I was hoping that the Sheltons were going to run the whole thing. I was hoping we'd have Matt Johnson, we'd have the Bobcat. In years past, there's been some really strong contenders that ran the whole thing, and for whatever reason this summer, they just kind of bowed out.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad. I have to say I jumped in there. I really like what I saw from PPL. It more or less for me, we look at scheduling and what pools our friends and stuff can go to, but I bought $6,000 worth of the pre-commitment to run there, and I never showed up to one. So I'm as guilty as anybody for not showing up to support them.
And honestly, Tyler, I said that because I was wanting to heckle you, but you took it like a champ. So I'll have to find another angle to get on you.
You can heckle the crap out of me. If you don't, it's going to be lame. I don't want to sit here and get a bunch of softball questions.
In our class, we all know it doesn't matter where you run or who you run against and what organization sticker you have on. It's if you win a poll, you've done something good. So I'm not discrediting anything. I am discrediting Jeff Hurt because he's gone and gotten 2 barnfuls of old tires because he doesn't like running new ones. But that just makes it more fun.
You should have seen his barn. It was like a mini rod pulling tire museum.
That's what I told him. I said, you didn't get into mini rod pulling. You got into Dick CPEC collecting. So I'm
surprised they didn't see any Firestones.
Yeah, no, but you guys, it's all fun and games. I'm just giving everyone a hard time because the tire deal is always a hot topic. I'm sure we'll dive into that plenty of times in the future. Kudos to all you guys. So I think we need to keep it moving. We're already almost at an hour. Fans, we're sorry. Promise it won't go this long all the time, but we don't want to cut you short on what we said we're going to bring you. So I think it's a time to do the local establishment spotlight. And every pool, every event has its own story. So, Tyler, it's on you to identify them. Again, fans, email us, message us on future spotlight restaurants or bars. But, Tyler, we got to start somewhere, so it's on you tonight.
All right, well, we're going with the Old Faithful Crowbar in Toma, Wisconsin. Everybody's that's gotten there a couple days early, parked out in the gravel parking lot. We've all walked up into town, had a couple of beverages at the Crowbar, and we're going to give them a call.
Crowbar. Hang on. Oh, so is it a bar or a restaurant?
Oh, it's a bar. I mean, they might have like bar food, but
so
they do have bar food. They actually have a peanut butter and jelly hamburger there.
But a big part, we're wanting to bring eyeballs and attention to sports. So, like a Crowbar, Toma's one of the biggest pools in the world. Like, if you haven't been to Crowbar, we're going to endorse Crowbar on this show. And with the return of that, I mean, we're going to be at, I think we have a couple hundred people. We anticipate thousands of people watching this. And by the time next summer rolls around, I mean, if you say Crowbar, that's worth some type of sponsorship, right?
Crowbar is going to be packed. And this is not a tool. There's actually like a little crow on their sign, just to clear up any confusion.
Can we get producer? Can we get a Crowbar like website or anything? I mean, can we look at the menu?
For anybody that knows, in Toma, Wisconsin, if you're going to drink, don't drive. Be responsible, but definitely don't do it in Toma, Wisconsin, because they will haul your ass to jail.
You'll get a DUI.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't ready to go
anywhere.
For this? All right.
So we're just what are we doing here when we call them, Tyler? We're endorsing a sponsorship. We want a sponsorship. I think we need to get them to sponsor.
Man, Crowbar. I don't want to ask for money. I just want to ask them if they know about the tractor pull that goes on there once a year.
Okay. Well, I think we'll just see where it goes. I mean, there's no stone unturned in the notes.
This may go horribly.
Yeah. Great bar with bush silos.
Crowbar?
Hi, this is Tyler calling. Is this the Crowbar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this this is the bar that's in downtown Toma, Wisconsin, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had been there for the tractor pull before. Have you ever worked there during the tractor pull?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're endorsing this bar on a tractor Pulling podcast tonight. When Toma rolls around, they got to get up to the Crowbar. What are some great things at the Crowbar that sets you guys apart from all the other bars up there on the Toma Strip?
We have a great atmosphere and great food.
Oh, and I see on your Facebook you have mini beer shots. Is that right?
We have what?
Mini beer shots?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a shot ski also that those can be positioned on and taken in group form?
Yes, we have a shop.
Do you really?
Yeah, we do.
That's fantastic. You just seemed like the kind of place that would have a shot ski.
Ask them, or may I ask,
How long have you worked there?
what is your
2
specialty?
years.
2 years. What's your specialty? What's the one thing you're known for? If people go to the Crowbar, what do they got to have?
What do they gotta have? Oof, probably a bloody.
A bloody? You got the best one? You guys go buck wild with it? You got like a lobster and mozzarella sticks hanging out of it?
No.
You just keep it simple, straight up Bloody Mary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who can we
Okay.
speak to about getting some? Do y'all do any advertising in your bar?
In
Do you
the
do?
bar?
Yes. Like, can anyone put a sign up?
I'm sorry, what? I can barely hear you.
Can we pay to get a sign put up in the bar?
I don't know. You would have to talk to our owner.
Okay. What hours can they?
Is he available? Is he available? Can we speak to him?
He comes in during the days.
During the days? Okay.
Yeah.
You have a
would it be
mini
possible?
taco as well, huh?
Would it be possible for you to three-way the owner in right now?
Yeah. Could you three-way the owner in right now in a conversation?
I mean, this is a podcast. There's thousands of.
He wouldn't be able to answer.
Oh, he wouldn't be able to answer.
There's thousands of people listening to this podcast that had never heard of Crowbar, and literally people are going to be booking flights tomorrow. Like, this is groundbreaking stuff. We just want to see if we can get some advertising in the bar. We're all about growing the sport of pulling, but we want to help you grow your business. So, do you have can you FaceTime audio?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you FaceTime them?
No, like he wouldn't be able to answer his phone at all right now. He's at an appointment.
I understand.
Okay.
I have put a few
Oh, it's an
appointments.
appointment. He
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Number I can give it to him for him to call.
Okay.
Yeah. So how do we have a so we'll be there next June pulling, and we're here. Thousands of people are going to be walking in this bar. We just got to have some way to get together. So I think.
Do you have an outdoor area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys have
we
an
just need
outdoor area there, right?
Yeah, we have an outdoor beer garden.
Oh, and you got pool tables. Shoo, you got it all going on. What's the wildest thing you've seen at the Crowbar in your 2 years of working there?
I don't know, probably tractor pull with everyone that comes in here, and it just gets crazy wild.
Are the pullers? Do they bring a ruckus to the building?
No, right? It's just a fun environment.
Oh, well, fun environment. Okay, we'll take that. All right. What's your name? We're gonna come see you in June. Jessica. All right. Thank you, Jessica. We'll see you at the Crowbar. All right.
Jessica, you've been awesome. Jessica, next June, drinks on us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, bye.
Pulling fans,
guys,
Crowbar.
Jessica at the
If you can't
Crowbar.
if you can't wait till June, book your flights to Toma. I think Madison's the nearest airport. Go in. Tyler Slaw endorsed it. So and anyone else.
You got to get the Bloody Mary. No lobsters, no mozzarella sticks, just straight up Bloody Mary or mini beer shots off the shot ski.
Really looking forward to the potential of the local establishment spotlight. I mean, we're here to grow a lot of things, but what's better than small town America bars? So shout out to the Crowbar. We're going to be sharing your information on social media. What a show! All right, Adam.
It's time for the protest segment. This is where we will ask a few questions from the fans here to see what kind of answers you get from us, and whatever you want to ask us, throw her out there.
So, producer, I think we have some questions that you were accumulating for us.
Yeah, producer guy, this is on you.
City Slicker.
Yeah, we got to clean this. We got to clean this up a little bit.
You have to remember that this is the very first version of this podcast. As we get going, this will get better.
So this is much like your first time pulling. You start off
Yeah.
rough, you know.
It just
Yeah, I
just
mean-
like when Adam was explaining how he left in reverse and take it off. I mean, there's a
it
reason
makes
for
no
everything.
sense. That's right. It makes no sense.
He's so not confident he's getting ready to reverse. All right, we've got William Lumberg. My first and most important question is from each guy here. What is their favorite campground parade vehicle or must-see campsite to check out every year? Like the Fireball Bar or stripper pole trailer, etc.
Okay, well, for anybody that doesn't know, this is obviously a Bowling Green question. Or is it?
Of course. No, it's got to be. I mean, campground parade vehicle. I'm gonna say my favorite campsite has got to be the shop bar. It is Custard's Last Stand, right around the corner. I say right around the corner, like there's one frickin' corner in that whole campground. You know where it is. It's kind of down past the food people on the left, over the little. I don't know. You know where it's at. Home of the Animal Cracker. That's the best campsite, and I would say that's caught on with the pullers. It seems like everybody after the pull just congregates there. There's fans. There's people out in the campground, campers. All the pullers are out there. It's a great time.
I'd have to say, as far as like the vehicles go, the Caterpillar's pretty sweet. No doubt about it. I mean, I know this new rule is going to be coming in here with the campground and the stuff.
No trailers allowed.
Yeah, it's actually, I don't know. Maybe we should weigh in on that next week with our special guest that we have not announced yet, and we will keep as a surprise for a little while.
We'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the end.
Okay.
There was a time in my life where I thought that Titty City was it, but that's just too overwhelming these days. So shop bars, Tyler's Place is my go-to.
I like playing beer darts
it's amazing
with some of the
how
fans out there. Some of my friends, they have like 5 camp spots over there, and their neighbors this year had beer darts, which was pretty exciting. Luckily, got some plywood set up there, so nobody's losing their toes or anything like that. But
oh no, it's only fun when you take darts to the legs when you play that.
Real darts, real darts. So very, very good stuff there.
Next question.
Who is your pulling hero? Chase, who is it? Who is your pulling hero?
I've got 3 answers to this, and that's a cop out, but I can't really say it otherwise. I mean, my dad, first and foremost, he's my pulling hero.
It's going to be all of our answers.
Yeah. But if you say that you can't say your dad,
I'd say you can't say your dad.
I'm a cop out because I started out. I was raised running 2-wheel drives, and sent a mill to me. I hadn't pulled them in a number of years till this year, but Randy Petro for sure. Him and my dad were great friends, and Randy and Jesse in their, I'm not going to say their heyday, but when they were just winning, like absolutely dominating the classes when I was deep in it, and those guys taught just about just how to be a freaking winner pulling. Randy Petro then.
Oh, they couldn't not win.
Yeah, and he's still the best there is, in my opinion, in the 2-wheel drive class. But Randy Petro, then Adam's dad Larry as well, also another close friend of my dad. People may not know this, but Adam and Larry are the ones that got me my class when I was, I think, 21 or 22. We bought Larry's old tractor.
CJ destroyed it.
Yeah, I want to talk about that, but bought Larry's old tractor, and we sucked for a real long time with it. But Adam and Larry really helped us get going, and my dad, Randy Petro, Larry Kester. That's my cop out answer.
Who you got, Tyler? Who's your pulling hero?
I'm going to say probably Jason Hathaway and Phil Fairbanks, just because when I was getting into the mini rod class, starting out pulling, those guys were at the top of their game. And I just looked up to them and just watched them. That's when Phil was running with Jason and like ran the whole summer with him. And just watching those guys strategize and talk about it and, observe the things going on and make adjustments and whether they should do a hero or a zero. And like, they knew that I wasn't like a threat in any way, shape, or form. We had no idea what we were doing. We drove around the country hitting all these events for like 3 years, getting like 15th place for years and years straight. So like they would allow me to walk up to them if they were at the starting line, and they were discussing where to put the sleds and how to set the tractors up. And like, I just looked up to those guys, watching them, execute those plans over and over and over again, and watch them eventually beat Bauer for the mini rod championship. And that was really cool. But
It's awesome.
full disclaimer, that's only because I can't say my dad. Otherwise, I'd say my dad.
Yeah, I think there's no argument there. Everybody knows who my pulling hero is. Definitely my dad. But if I was going to throw a name out there, I think I would go a little bit with a local hero here. Lives about 3 miles as the crow flies. It would be Fred Freeman. He was actually probably more influential in getting my dad going than anybody. He built his engines and basically gave him his tough skin. Fred always did really good with less. I mean, I think he really enjoyed running against guys that had way more money than he did. And, you know, I kind of like that fact because we have a sponsorship, and yes, that looks good. But, you know, outside of that, if we didn't have the sponsorship, we'd be a lot smaller scale than what we are right now. And I've just always appreciated what he was able to do with less back in the day. So Fred Freeman.
Yeah, good answer. Tyler, by the way, when you were getting 15th in those days, I was getting like 17th and 18th. So just so
no
you know.
BS. You weren't even running a mini then. I was getting 15th because there was 15 tractors there.
Our next question from
just
Chandler
like
Pickler. What puller has the best food at their hauler?
Man, if Rick's cooking venison, I'm all in.
For you pulling fans that don't know, Rick, the official pop culture correspondent, likes to eat deer in the pits.
Oh, yeah.
So
he knows how to cook.
He's always slanging meat.
Yeah.
The other guy, I think this is a no-brainer. I mean, Bonesy. Kevin Lust that goes with the UD crew.
That peach cobbler at Bowling Green. Oh,
it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I didn't wake up hungover on Sunday.
It's really good at 4 a.m., right?
It's even better at 4
Tyler, because that's when you come eat in our pit at 4 a.m. You don't ever come at like normal time.
No, you better stay away from the 4 a.m. eating because CJ's usually making taco meat by about then, and it's not that good.
I'm in every time.
Yeah, that's another show for another day. So one last question. These are great. And again, fans, a reminder, email info@fullpool.us throughout the week. We'll give you an announcement on when the next podcast is going to be, or fire them away. We'll try to answer 4 or 5 of these tonight with our guest as well. So last one, Adam.
With our final question here is if any of you guys ran a smaller mini like the Western Series class with a small block or 871, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a big negative. No. My dad, just to throw this out there really quick, the first time I've ever ran anything was a Grand National style mini rod. We were at Pine Tops, North Carolina. It was in the afternoon on a Saturday.
That's where I first pulled.
Yeah. So afternoon on a Saturday, my dad tells me to go in the trailer and put on the fire suit. We're going to make a run in 10 minutes. He gave me.
Did you know that was coming?
No, I kind of had an idea. I mean, when your dad tells you to bring a fire suit and a helmet, you know there's always a possibility.
Okay.
But you didn't know when it ended up being like, imagine myself, 19 years old, getting in a pulling tractor and strapping my legs into what his brakes were. There was no pedals on the damn thing. So
I hadn't considered that.
It was very scary.
You use those? You use those? Use brakes? I don't.
Yeah, well,
you use brakes.
Some people
I got to get rid of mine.
Some people don't know how to use them, I guess. Some people don't know how to use the throttle either.
This is a perfect time to announce that Tyler can't use his brakes no more now where he's loosened up and laughing about it.
That's right. Chase is too worried I'll get hurt.
But I mean, I think I made it. I think I made it about 150 feet. It was a terrible pass, but it was absolutely the first time I went down the track. And ever since then, the only thing I've pulled has been a Grand National mini rod. What about you guys? What have you? What?
The first thing.
Anything less?
I take that statement back that the first time I pulled was at Pine Tops. The first time I pulled like a Grand National Mini was at Pine Tops, but the very first thing I ever made a pass in was my dad's 5-engine tractor.
Not a
Which-
4-engine, 5.
Not a
right?
4, a 5, which is ridiculous. And I had
Was that
no idea
Sandwich,
what I was
Illinois?
That's
doing.
such
I
a
mean,
Bruce
other than
move.
looking at,
That's such a Bruce move.
isn't it?
Where was
yeah.
that?
That's such a Bruce move.
Where
It
was
was
that?
Sandwich,
Yeah.
Illinois. Yeah.
I got
And
you.
I didn't know what I was doing
Exhibition?
other than looking at race pack data and just kind of like trying to like mimic the throttle, but like I had no feel for it. I didn't know what was going on. So I sucked, of course, but I won because it was an exhibition pass, but I also got last. So take that for what it's worth. And then we got rid of that thing.
You're undefeated. You're undefeated all the time in that class.
That's right. That's why I don't want us to get another one. Anybody that knows my father knows that he wants one desperately. And to me, the unlimited are like,
Let's just speak about that for a second there, Tyler, though. Exactly. You guys went from the unlimited to the mini rod. You guys had the 2 mini rods. How'd that
Yes.
first year go?
oh, I blew up like every motor from the unlimited, like throughout the season. Like I was in balls of fire. There was one time I blew one up so bad we unbolted the cylinder head, and a section of the block from the deck surface where the head sits all the way down to the oil pan rail just fell onto the ground, like carnage. Like those were all cast.
And you wonder why they changed rules for you. You wonder why they changed rules for you.
That was a cast block.
Yeah, that was a cast block, Chase. I run stainless steel side shields over 100,000 stick. My feet are safe. I've still got them. Everything's fine.
If you don't pay your taxes, the IRS comes knocking at your door.
I don't think I owe anybody money out of that.
What about you, Chase? What? I mean, okay. While we're speaking about that, I mean, I guess I have driven 2 other vehicles in my life. One was his diesel super stock of Kenny Hale, pulled out at North Carolina State Fair. I think I got 3rd after I choked the shit out of it the first time. And
Nice.
The other time, my brother-in-law, which I let him drive my tractor, but he let me drive the 2-wheeler at Greenville when it was raining, and I think I finished like maybe a foot behind my sister, so I didn't feel like I did that bad. But that's basically what I have driven.
How does the 2-wheeler compare to a mini?
Extremely loud. The down headers, the down zoomy headers coming up, and then the sound inside the 2-wheeler. I don't know, Chase, with your 2-wheeler, is it louder than the mini rod?
100%. 100%. It's definitely louder.
I've never heard that. I want to guess that.
It blew my mind.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of crazy how loud it was.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's definitely louder.
What about you, Chase?
I have no experience driving any other mini rod other than the mini rods we run now.
No, you made a pass.
I
in
cut
the
my
big
teeth
track
2-wheel
once.
drive. Yeah, I drove it a couple times. Yeah, but no, I cut my teeth running 2-wheel drives. So, and to be, I've told some younger people, Jeremy Nelson and Missy's son Tanner, he wants a mini rod so bad, but I would highly recommend driving 2-wheel drives first. Just, the 2-wheel drive is not as stressful to drive as a mini rod. Mini rod's more stressful, but it's as hard to drive, if that makes sense, because it's just straight finesse with your throttle, and mini rod, there is a little finesse for your throttle, but you're just trying to hang on for life most of the time and keep it happy, which it's never stressful. I say that next time I drive a 2-wheel drive, I'll be the first 2-wheel drive ever roll over, but
Then we'll outlaw your
I highly recommend driving. Yeah. But I highly recommend to a young person that wants a mini rod or anyone drive a 2-wheel drive for a few years because, I feel like it helps me sometimes.
I disagree. 2 passes and a 5-engine tractor, then nothing but mini rods.
That's right.
Solid go-to plan.
Come from the guy who leads the intro with a rollover. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
And
you're
they
right.
change
Hard
rules
to
for
roll
you,
the big
dude.
one.
Yeah.
Hey, I never backed into a sled, all right,
Yeah.
guys?
So, I can't. So in the
Chase-
future, we'll have a mixtape.
So
of that.
Chase, as we get closer here to the end, we all know, like, as the pull goes, you go across the scales, you make your pass, you get your staging, you make your pass and everything, you get done with your run. Take us to the trailer, man. What we got?
Low to the trailer. We've gone only, what is it? We've only gone 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes longer than we wanted to, but I feel like we've done all right. We've not lost connection by anyone to this point, so that's a
Amazing.
win
That
in my
alone
book.
is a big win.
Give us some feedback
So-
on how
so
we
for-
sound. If our video's not good, if we're having delays, we need to know this stuff so we know what to fix up for the next shows.
Absolutely. You took it right out. So this is we're the guys talking, but we want this to be. Obviously, it's a pulling podcast, but we want this to be as big as it can be. But that's not gonna happen without feedback from the people tuned in now. And again, we expect it to grow each week through word of mouth. But if there's something that we don't like that you do, or if we do something you don't like, or make a suggestion,
Tell us about it.
Message one of us. Email info@fullpull.us. Send us a Facebook message. Can't say we'll give you the answer you want to hear, but I don't get offended by anything, and we're trying to make this as good as we can.
We've all spent money on microphones. We all have our arms to hold our microphones. We've tried to do the due diligence with lighting and good cameras and good backgrounds. Tyler's got the extreme backing area there. I love it. I tried. Yeah. My idea never panned out like I wanted it to, so there might be some changes throughout. This is all just a big work in progress. So I think. Go ahead, Ed. I'm sorry. I was just saying, I think for the most part, we just need the feedback from everybody. This is a very fan-friendly show. It doesn't happen without you, so we need to make sure that you guys are getting the stuff that you want, the content that you want. If you have any ideas on some segments or what you wanted us to highlight in segments, if you want us to do anything differently, we'll definitely take it and think about what we want to do here. But we're doing all we can. We're a bunch of guys that have no idea what the hell we're doing. We're just trying to maybe get some information, get some awareness out in the pulling world, try to make
we got a producer that does know what's going on, luckily.
Yeah, we got wine bottles emptying. This is no good. We got to cut this off.
So just so we're clear, so this is going to be a every 2-week podcast starting out. So it'll be every other Wednesday. So the next time you'll hear from us, it'll be October 18th, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. We'll promote this, and you're going to hear more about it.
Make sure you go to the Full Pull page. We do have T-shirts available for sale in the store. There's a little bit of the No Practice Podcast T-shirts. Buy those up. As the thing's going, we'll try to get some more merch. See if we can get some more interaction here with the fans. So take us home, Chase.
Yeah. And October 18th, 8 Eastern. We will have, again, star-studded. We'll put announcements out well in advance. There'll be guys that's never been on podcasts in this pulling world, and it's going to be a wide array. So looking forward to that.
You don't have to listen to all three of us all the time. We get to ask these burning questions to people that that everybody wants to know from.
and local establishments, a local establishment spotlight. We need recommendations. We know the places we want to focus on, but if you got a place, send it over to us too. Tyler, what do you got going on the next 2 weeks till October 18th?
Well, I'm in the middle of tearing my motor apart. I got it out of my tractor. I'm going to get my crank lifted out of there and sent off for inspection. And hopefully that checks out good. And that's about it.
You have to check cranks in those things?
I mean, yeah, you're supposed to. You just sell yours to Shelton and tell them they're good.
Adam, what you got going besides building another 3 mini rods?
Oh yeah, just building a fleet so I can have my own class. Actually, we're right in the middle of off season. The phone's ringing off the hook. Guys are bringing engines, trying to round up parts, put new plans together for guys for the upcoming season. It's kind of difficult. And as far as the personal life, I got my young baby boy Aaron and my wife. I need to be spending a little bit more time with them than working at the shop all the time. So just trying to enjoy life with my friends. Oh, I love doing podcasts. I'm sure we're gonna get some of my friends to call in, maybe get a little more behind the scenes footage of some of these pulls.
We gotta stick to our roots. So correspondent Rick is here to stay unless I get overrode by my co-host. And don't forget, the Farm Machinery Show applications are due by the time our next show comes up. So we might have some Farm Machinery Show information. There's a lot of cool stuff coming through the pipe, guys, with Full Pull and so forth. Just subscribe, follow, stay in tune. We all go through this window where we're burnt out and pulling. Adam said it to where we kind of miss pulling, but Full Pull is going to kind of be here to soothe the appetite over a little bit. And then also tomorrow, I'm happy to announce we're going to have some Full Pull cash wager to win some cash events for the fall this year. Starting next weekend, the North Carolina State Fair. And there's 4 total events. So we will have, you'll be able to go, and we'll spotlight some of that on the show here, but you'll be able to go win your cash. Pick the winners, win up to over $1,000 each event. So look for that tomorrow. And again, love doing this. Can't wait to see where it goes. And please let us know your comments. Tyler and Adam, I think we need to do a sign off, appropriate sign off, a cheers to the screen, and then we can let it go. So cheers.
Good job, guys. That was about as good as you can.
See you guys next time. Thanks.
That's a wrap.
Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the No Practice Podcast.
Have a good one. Bye.
Stay tuned for the next episode, where we guarantee there still won't be any practice.